disadvantage right now. Kuminga's one of their most athletic players. Andrew Wiggins is one of their most athletic players. That's about it.
But
That's about it. And TJD, I want to give TJD his credit too, because TJD is one hell of an athletic big.
But to me, it's in part by their own design and desire to only play a certain way.
Yeah.
And you only can have high IQ guys out there. They're not going to amend their style of play for an athlete. Yeah. And they've made it pretty loud and clear. Like, Kuminga, you're either gonna change the way you play, or we're not going to run anything special.
But you know what? Even during the championship years, Andre Iguodala was always athletic. Was always an athletic marvel.
Yeah, but he was super intelligent.
He's super intelligent, but he was also athletic, though.
No doubt.
He was an athletic guy who was very smart.
Especially in the first couple of years.
Sean Livingston, underrated athleticism, but very, very smart. The Brazilian blur, Leandro Barbosa, athletic specimen. You had some of the JaVale McGee. He only played 9 minutes a game, but he was athletic as hell. You know what I'm saying? KD is KD.
Well, KD's
one
of the greatest athletes the world has ever seen.
I want to get back to this because I feel like there's going to be a lot of conversation about Steph Curry's in his minutes. And look, he played the entire fourth quarter against Indiana. Did not work. He looked gassed. He looked worn down. It was a rough homestand for him. So he doesn't play the entire fourth quarter yesterday. And he's sitting there on the sideline, and maybe he was 2 minutes too late. Steve Kerr says, hey, look, it wouldn't have made a difference. Let's hear from Steph Curry if he was surprised about how long he rested in the fourth quarter.
With me, obviously, you're comparing it to last game and my normal rotation. Like, I want to play as many minutes as I'm fresh and able to. So a little bit, knowing that they were just going on a run, the lead was kind of withering away. So, we played the whole fourth quarter and then against Indiana. It didn't work out. This didn't work out. So we got to find somewhere in the middle.
Then later on, he was asked if he could afford to limit his minutes.
The situation will define itself pretty clearly, and it is in kind of real time. So every game matters. We're inching closer to the other end of the standings that we never thought we'd be in. Nobody's going to wave the white flag and say, you're mailing it in. And if that means playing more minutes, then I'll be ready to do that.
All right, that's Steph Curry. No, he's not happy at all. Let's go to Alex in San Jose. I don't think Alex in San Jose is happy either. Alex, what's happening?
Good morning, guys. Not super happy about last night. I mean, it was a close game, but it's all we can really ask for the team at this point, especially playing a team that high in the standings. But the way I look at it is, you guys hit the nail on the head with the as far as the talent level of the team being maxed out, and we've kind of seen this team already do whatever it can to scrap and claw to this point. But the way I break it down is the starting lineup compared to the bench. The bench, I'm happy with. You have, Clay, we've seen the stats since he's come back, since he's entered that role, coming off the bench. He's been playing great off the bench. Chris Paul, since he's been back from his injury, he's been playing great off the bench. And they have great chemistry with TJD also. When you throw in, some extra minutes here and there with guys like GP2 or Moody, the bench is great. But the starting lineup is what's not getting it done. We have two guys out there in Pods and Draymond, who I love those guys, but we have two guys out there who are basically non-factors on offense. And in this day and age with the NBA, the way it's, all predicated on 3-point shooting now, you can't go along with a lineup like that. Yep. And then that not to mention, Wiggins, who like the last caller said, he's been going through some personal stuff. We don't know what it is. And I'm sympathetic to that, but just purely based on the basketball standpoint, he's just kind of, out there going through the motions, not being the force on defense that we know he can be. And that's coupled with, his offensive limitations. So I think the starting lineup is what's really killing us. You can talk about Curry's minutes and, he's not playing enough minutes, but I think if you put him out there long enough with that lineup, he's got to do so much. It's going to wear on him even more. So the starting lineup is really what's got to change.
Look,
go ahead.
Your point on Wiggins is a great one. Like if the season and the team, the season, the Warriors organization is a ship, right? That's leaving the harbor, all right, and everybody's on board and everybody's ready to go. We're very empathetic and everyone's sensitive to what's going on with Andrew Wiggins, but simultaneously, like two things can be true, Ralph Barbieri. His lack of production on the floor has anchored the team and has stymied whatever their ceiling was. So however fast that ship could go, it's anchored and getting dragged across the bottom of the ocean because of whatever's going on, because he's not playing up to what they're expecting him to play at. And it's not just him. He's not the only one. There are many anchors from this team that are in that harbor that are slowing this boat down. He's not the only one. There are many of them, but it's a big one. And it's hard to talk about the Warriors without talking about Andrew Wiggins falling off a map in terms of productivity.
It's one of your big money players. It's one of the few guys who's got a $100 million contract, right?
Yes.
We thought it was all a bargain.
Everyone did.
Everybody. I was like, wow,
totally
they got him for 4 years, $109 million? It's $25 a year. Are you kidding me? And now you look at the contract, and he has a player option. And you're thinking, damn, this is not aging well. This is not a fine wine. This one is bitter.
In back-to-back years, Jordan Poole's contract turned into an albatross.
Right.
And then Wiggins has turned into something similar.
Something very similar. So when you think about Andrew Wiggins, yes, it's not just him, but he's one of your big money players. And I coined him as the most important player coming into the season. He's the most important player for the Golden State Warriors. You have Curry, you have all these other guys, but you need Andrew Wiggins to be that top dog, that pit bull defensively, where he's attacking at the point of attack, and he's shutting down the faucet of guys like Tyrese Halliburton, Jalen Brunson, Andrew Nembhard, whoever is playing point guard, or Anthony. You know what I'm saying? He's that guy. And so I'll give him a little credit yesterday. He was defending Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards was 7 of 18. You get credit for that. Him and GP2 did a fine job on him. But you just need more. When you're spending $25 million, you can't have 13 points a night. You can't have 4 rebounds a night. You can't have the inconsistency shot making from the 3-point line. I saw him hit the side of the backboard Friday night against Indiana. I said, dear God, I didn't even want to go on Twitter for that one. He hit the side of the backboard. It wasn't even from the corner. He was wide open. So when you see 15 points and you see 4 of 8, 50% shooting, and I say, damn, Andrew Wiggins got to the free throw line 7 times last night. 5 of 7 for the 3-point line, but it's just not good enough for this iteration of the Golden State Warriors. You need more from him, and you're just not getting that point blank period. He's just disappointed this season. He's had the worst season of his career, and it's unexplainable. It's unexplainable. Maybe it's the personal reasons, but on the floor, once you get there between the white lines, all that stuff's out of the window. You got to play ball.
So your point about contracts, like right now, the only contracts that are extremely valuable, where they're actually getting great value, Kuminga, TJD, and Pods. Steph, like that. So to me, you want to talk about this season and like where we're at when you are this deep into the money and you are this top heavy in terms of finances and the allocation of that money and how it limits you in terms of movement. Your most valuable guys in terms of the money that they're making and what they're bringing to the table. It can't be 2 rookies and a guy in his third year. And look, you're asking too much.
You're asking a rookie to start alongside Steph Curry and Brandon Podziemski, and you're asking for a third-year player who really didn't get a lot of playing time.
It's unfair.
It's really unfair. I can't come at Pods and Kuminga.
He's diving all over the floor.
I got everything and more for Podziemski. Yeah. Now we know what he needs to improve at.
Yeah, but
he's got to get quicker. He's got to get sometimes. Look, he may be at an athletic disadvantage. Teams are sitting on him and his dribble drives, and he's ball potting a little too much. But you know what? Pods is giving me everything he has.
Yes.
Kuminga's giving me everything that he has. I got no problem with him. TJD's giving me everything that he has. This is on the big money guys. This is on the Draymond Greens. This is on Andrew Wiggins. This is on Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. But Andrew Wiggins, since we're talking about him, it's just.
But here's where I get frustrated, right? And look, we can disagree. But people are like, well, because if you bench him, you'll lose him forever.
Bench who?
Talk about Wiggins. Last night, in the final 5 minutes or whatever it was, I don't have the exacts. They went GP2 in terms of they went Steph, Klay, Draymond, and then the other 2 guys were Wiggins and GP2. Now, we can argue till we're blue in the face about why they did it. My theory is like, no, I don't want Wiggins closing. He's lost that ability to close right now. He's lost the benefit of the doubt. I wanted to see Kuminga close.
You know what though? Team defensively, the team was not getting stops.
But it always get me a bucket.
No, I hear, but it did get you a bucket. 107, 104. They run the split action. Kuminga has Mike Conley Jr. on him. And this is where the growth of Kuminga comes into play. And I'm not crushing him.
Yeah.
He's going to learn. He's only 21 years old. So I'm not crushing him. I don't want people to think that this is slander towards Jonathan Kuminga. But if you watch the play, 107, 104, he gets the ball in the post. Mike Conley Jr. is guarding him. You need a little more patience in the post. Instead, he rushed it where Curry's coming off a flare screen, the patented screen to the corner, and Kuminga's just wait just a second. You got Curry wide open for three. Maybe he ties the game up. But this is just little things there late in the game that you got to do it.
But Bonte, you're right. But like, we're talking about one isolated play which ices a guy out.
Another play
no, I know, but I'm just saying,
where he misses it. And it's not about
nothing.
I hear you, but when you're a coach, but when you're a coach and you got $100 million player, you're just not going to bitch him.
I don't care about $100 million.
What Steve Kerr and Joe Lacob does.
I don't care.
Joe Lacob and Steve Kerr does.
Why are we playing GP2? He's making $6 million.
When you play him in spots next to Wiggins.
I'm trying to win the game.
Well, that's what Steve Kerr tried to do last night.
It doesn't matter what a guy's making.
Wiggins was defending last night.
I'm tired of hearing what guys have done and how much they're making.
Wiggins was defending last night. Kuminga has moments where you blow a game.
I know, but the lack of tolerance for a youngster to make a mistake is why they're where they're at.
Kuminga played 30 minutes yesterday. Wiggins played 24 minutes. Kuminga's seeing his minutes.
Right now,
Kuminga's playing. Kuminga's playing.
Not in the final 5 minutes?
He played a little bit in the final 5. A little bit. He played 30 minutes last night, Shasky. You can't keep making mistakes and continue to play.
He's 21. He's 21. You got to let him play through some of these mistakes.
He is.
You'll never get the growth.
Friday.
I just disagree. I'm telling you right now, the Andrew Wiggins will not be on this team next year. Dude, and so all of this trying to boost up his ego.
Nobody's trying to boost up his ego. He's trying to win a damn basketball game yesterday.
It feels like to me like the coach is trying to prop the guy up because he's afraid he's going to lose him. You've already lost him. You've lost him. He's done. He's done. They've lost him. They already benched Jordan Poole last year in the playoffs because they lost him emotionally. They've lost Wiggins.
Kuminga played 30 minutes a game. He played 30 minutes last night. What did he play against Indiana? Played another big time minutes. He struggled.
This entire season, to me, because of where you're at right now, it is imperative to give Jonathan Kuminga every opportunity to fail over and over. He's played 40.
He's playing.
He's the only guy with young legs.
He's played, and he's been really, really good. But if you watch the game last night, he blew defensive assignments. And again, late in the game, I'm isolating one offensive possession where you got to be perfect against the Minnesota Timberwolves, who got the best defense in the league. And on the split action, he's just not patient enough right now in the paint. Sometimes he rushes too quick. And Mike Conley Jr. was sitting on it. He was sitting on it. So I'm not saying I agree with you. Wiggins has been all-time bad. But I'm just not going to bitch $100 million. I can't do that.
I am, because I'm trying to win. And I watched Duncan Robinson. But let me give you an example. I watched Duncan Robinson, who got a big-time contract extension, get iced out by Spoelstra.
Yeah, but he wasn't one of Miami's top 5 players.
But they
overpaid Duncan Robinson. They overpaid. Wiggins is so important on this team. He's one of your most important players. He's one of your only two-way guys.
When your season is hanging by a thread, I can't worry about what is owed 3 years down the line.
Well, I'm trying to win this game. And he tried to win that game yesterday by playing defensive guys because Kuminga defensively just didn't have it yesterday. He just didn't. It's okay. He's a young player who's still growing, and I'm the biggest Kuminga fan out there. But you watch the possession late in the game, and he gets too quick because he's young.
And he's looking over his shoulder, and he's like, if I don't make a play then I'll never play again.
Well, that's done because he's been playing 30 minutes a game. That ship has sailed. Kuminga's playing. He doesn't have to look over his shoulder anymore. He's been starting for here on out. Let's go to Jason in Oakland. Jason, what's happening?
Good morning, Bonte and Shasky. Both of y'all right.
Thank you.
Hello?
Yeah, we got you, Jason. We appreciate that.
What I want to say is the starting lineup should be Jackson Davis, Clay, Steph, Kuminga, and Wiggins. Draymond and Podziemski should be on the bench. Come in with Chris Paul and all the other guys. Because one thing, we got 2 youngsters, and then we got one, Wiggins, he's not that old. So the problem is that Steve Kerr is putting too much of the onus on Draymond Green with his defense, but he's not giving us nothing. Podziemski in the last 5, 6, 7 games, he only averaging like 5 points and 1 assist. So you guys got to really look at the lineup. And another thing Steve Kerr is doing is he's not trusting. Kuminga have bad games because he do look over his shoulder when he have a bad game. Dude, we all watch the game.
Oh, my God. Guys, he's playing 29 minutes a game in March. 30 minutes a game in March. What are we doing? He hasn't looked over his shoulder since January 5th when he had to sit down with Steve Kerr and said, I want to play. And since that moment, he's played an average of over 20 a game. Let's stop with the Kuminga rhetoric.
But isn't he also worried about his contract extension in the offseason?
He's going to get paid. He's getting his money from somebody.
But we did this for Draymond the year before. We've done this for Clay this year. We're worrying about how much guys like he's a young guy who isn't established.
This guy's going to get his money. Kuminga's going to get paid, whether it's from the Warriors or another team. He's going to get paid. All right? But he just came off a 4-17 game against Indiana where what happened? He kept going into the lane. It's like, yo, you gotta be patient. You can't just go in with your head cut off against Miles Turner and Pascal Siakam.
Yeah, I know.
That's all I'm saying. He still makes mistakes. He's not a perfect player.
When you're the 11 seed or the 10 seed, everyone on the team is making mistakes. I guess my point of view, where I feel like we isolate some of the young guys. This is my particular opinion. I feel like we isolate Jonathan Kuminga, and when he has a bad game or he has a couple of poor possessions, we end up like, this is why he doesn't play in these scenarios.
No, he's not. He's fine. He's been closing games. Yesterday was the first game in a long time where he wasn't in those final 5 minutes, but I get why he wasn't in the final 5 minutes. He wasn't having a great game. He just wasn't having a great game.
Was GP2 having a great game?
I think GP2 was very effective yesterday.
He got shot over twice in the final 3 minutes.
He's 6'2". He had dropped 7 assists and had 8 rebounds.
Kuminga's 6'8", right?
GP2 also had a tip-in over Rudy Gobert.
And he missed a big layup.
So he missed it. Pons has missed a layup. Curry missed layups. Clay's missed layups. Draymond's missed layups.
Who's a bigger part of this team moving forward? This is the way I look at it. Like, am I worried about GP2's investment into this team going forward? Or am I worried about Kuminga? I'm more worried about Kuminga.
So let's just develop these guys.
Yes.
Forget about the playoffs.
Why we're here right now in the 10th seed is the lack of development.
Wow.
Yes, it's a big part of it.
Right.
It's a big part of why they're here.
That. No, the reason why they're here is because Andrew Wiggins has not played up to capability. That's why they're here. They're here because Draymond Green was suspended for 17 games and kicked out of 3 others. This is about the big boys, man. This ain't about the youngsters. They're here because the big boys haven't played like big boys every single night. That's why they're here. Kuminga's been balling for the last 2 months, and they're still in a 10th spot. Still. Why? Because your big money players haven't played like big boys. That's what it is.
But see, to me, then it's more imperative for one of these young guys to get opportunities to keep this thing rolling and get these chances. He should be playing every single night with 5 minutes to go. That should be one of your guys that should be in there.
No matter what.
Defensive versatility. Okay. He's the only guy who can get you a bucket around the rim with ease.
But when they're blowing defensive assignments, Shasky, what do you do? Just let them play? Just let them play?
But everyone is.
Look at his minute logs in the month of March. 27, 20, 25, 33, 30, 31, 35, 31, 26, 28, 30, 30. He's getting 30 minutes. He's playing
but on a team with like 4 guys over 35 years old, you need somebody to go 35 or more minutes every night.
And what if you're not effective for 35 minutes?
He has been effective though. Like he has. Like the guy has been really good.
He has been. He's
been really good.
So, but yesterday, the last 2 games he hasn't been good.
You can't come out of this season, hit the 10th seed, or even miss the play-in altogether.
You already know Kuminga's a player. We know that already. That's been proven since January 5th.
So he's a player for next year, but he can't.
No, he is a player. He is. He couldn't close yesterday because he wasn't playing well. He wasn't playing well down the stretch. Just look at the game. Watch the game. He wasn't playing well down the stretch.
I do watch the games, and when I watch Andrew Wiggins, I watch a guy in the 4th quarter who just runs up and down the court. I don't see anything. I don't see the same forceful impact defensively, locking people down on the perimeter. I don't see him hitting shots late in games. I don't see him attacking the rim.
Well, he doesn't get shots late in the game. He doesn't get the ball. He shot 3 times in the second half yesterday. This is a product of having Kuminga and having Pons and having Clay. You're not getting shots anymore. So he's not getting shots. Nobody's running the offense. Andrew Wiggins played 24 minutes yesterday. He played 24 minutes. So the minute decretion is already started. He's not playing more than 24 minutes. So we're getting youngsters playing. We've gotten Pons playing. And now all of a sudden, Pons has been starting. Remember a month ago, everybody was bitching about Pons. Oh, starter, he needs to play more. And now a month later, everybody's saying, we need less of Pons.
Well, no.
So you guys got to pick a side,
Pons played really good in the first quarter.
You guys got to pick a side and be consistent.
No.
This is what happens when you have an inconsistent basketball team.
No doubt.
Guys are going to see inconsistent minutes.
But Pons was playing great in the first quarter. They had a nice little lead. Like, they were playing well. He was a big part of that. He was diving on the floor. He was making passes. He hit a couple of shots. Yeah. Like, Pons looked good in the first quarter. Did I think he should have closed? No, not in that particular circumstance. He played 18 minutes, 37
seconds. Because defensively, it was a liability.
Okay.
Because defensively, they were
But he was bringing something to the table at that point.
Wiggins, I thought I see a fist pump yesterday. It's the most emotion I've seen from him in a long time.
Yay.
I'm just telling you, watch the game. When you have an inconsistent team, guys are going to see inconsistent minutes. Everybody's talking about change the starting lineup. Well, they've done that 25 times this year. They have the most starting lineups in the league. 25 different starting lineups. Folks, 12 games left. This team's just a 500 basketball team. It is what it is. You could change up the starting lineup. You could bench this guy, bench that guy. It is what it is. They're a 10th place team. They're not good. They're not. So if you want to play the young guys, go ahead and play the young guys. But then you're not playing in the playing game. That's for damn sure. My voice is injured.